Before installing the trim-fast panel frames, it is recommended that you plan out where the panels will be placed on the wall. This video will demonstrate the best practices for a symmetrical layout. Let's begin by measuring the height and width of the wall. In our example, the wall is 8 feet or 96 inches high by 9 feet or 108 inches wide. We will now need to determine the amount of vertical and horizontal wall real estate that the panels will occupy. To do this, add together the lengths of the pre-mitered pieces that will be installed on the wall. For our project, there will be 3 24-inch pieces running horizontally, giving us a total of 72 inches. Our vertical trims are 54 inches and 18 inches respectively, for a total of 72 inches. Subtract these totals from the height and width of the wall. The difference will need to be evenly distributed between the panels. On our wall, we will have 36 inches of empty space horizontally and 24 inches vertically. To evenly distribute the space, count the number of panels your design will feature and add 1 to that number. In our example, we will have 3 horizontal panel frames and 2 vertical panel frames. Therefore, our horizontal total will be 4 and our vertical total will be 3. Divide the amount of space that will not be occupied by the trim-fast panel frames from the horizontal and vertical totals. For our wall, we had 36 inches of unused space horizontally and 24 inches vertically. 36 divided by 4 gives us 9 inches between our horizontal panel frames. 24 divided by 3 gives us 8 inches between our vertical frames. Now that we know the spacing for our frames, we can begin the installation process. You will need a level, tape measure, and a pencil for this. The first thing we will need to do is mark our starting point. From the lower left corner of the wall, make a light pencil mark at the point where your vertical and horizontal measurements from the previous step converge. For our wall, that would be 9 inches from the left edge of the wall and 8 inches from the floor. Using the starting point as a guide, place the bottom piece of the pre-mitered panel molding against the wall. For our wall, this will be one of the 24-inch pieces. Use your level to make sure that the molding is perfectly straight and draw a light line with the pencil across the inside edge of the molding. Remove the backing from the trim and lightly adhere the panel to the wall using the pencil line as a guide. Use the level to confirm that the panel is straight and level. If it is not, make adjustments until it is. Once the panel is level, apply pressure to the panel to adhere it to the wall. We will now need one of the side pieces of molding. For our example, this would be one of the 18-inch pre-mitered panel moldings. Align the molding with the trim that is on the wall to create a 45-degree angle. Use the level to make sure the molding is flush and draw a light line with your pencil along the inner edge of the trim. Remove the backing from the trim and, like we did previously, lightly adhere it to the wall, using the pencil line as a guide. Confirm that the molding is level, and if it is, adhere it to the wall. Repeat this process on the opposite side of the frame. For this step, however, we recommend that you do not fully adhere the panel to the wall until you have also lightly adhered the top portion of the frame to the wall. This will allow making any adjustments that may be needed easier. Once you are satisfied that all of the trims are level and correctly aligned, apply pressure to them to secure them to the wall. This will complete the installation of the lower panel frame. We can now begin to install the upper panel frame. Once again, we will need to lightly mark a starting point on the wall with our pencil. Refer to your wall plan and begin your measurements from the top left corner of the lower panel frame. Our wall has an 8-inch gap between the panels and a 9-inch gap from the left edge of the wall. Once you have determined the starting point for the upper frame, repeat the process that we used to install the lower panel frame to install the upper panel frame. With the left panel frames installed, follow the same steps to install the center and right panels.